Thank you for visiting the Minute Counselor. What is it? Why and how it works? For many, many years since the 1980s, I decided to learn quite a lot about counseling. As a pastor, I have involved myself mostly in pastoral counseling and biblical counseling. Uh, my mentors were some of the best teachers that came over to teach me in two different particular organizations, educational uh, organizations such as the West Coast Christian College and Nyack College or Alliance University. And I also went through some very personal development on counseling. My mentors are those that took the time to write books that deal with many, many different issues, and I took the time to read and understand, assimilate, and something that many people just cannot do. I noticed, and we will be talking about this topic in the future, but I noticed that there are so many people that have problems reading. Reading comprehension is a hinder in people's life, and they just can't understand what they're reading. At some point, they need somebody that will take an abstract and difficult concept and make it easy for them. They can actually visualize, and that person will then provide at that moment a particular solution. And what I discovered through the years, many, many years of doing this, is a concept that I now call the minute counselor. And what is the minute counselor? The minute counselor is a person that is approached by someone else with a particular problem or a question, or can you please give me a minute and listen to my situation and see what you could think of it. Maybe you could give me some pointers. Maybe you could help me out a little bit here and there. And truly, most people in life, they go through the whole entire life by just asking questions and getting on the moment advice by someone that they trust and respect in some way at some level. And that person that provided that counsel and provided that advice just became a minute counselor. So that's what the minute counselor is. Why? Well, if you realize it, it must have happened to you as well. Most people don't have the type of funding or even time to go looking for professional counseling or professional advice of some sort, coaching. It could become costly, and sometimes even those people that supposed to provide the type of advice that you're looking for, they may be hindered from telling you everything that they need to tell you because of some sort of legal mumbo jumbo that they feel threatened by, and they kind of set up some borders where they do not go beyond that or beyond there. So that's important to understand that kind of situations or those reasons that I just gave you become problematic for millions and millions of people that live in this world. And what the best choice that they have, the best option that they have, is to find somebody that they respect, somebody that they think have some knowledge of a particular issue that they are going through, and they will go and look for advice from that person. So we already know what it is, we already know why it is. But there is one part, the how, is very important because not everybody is equipped to give advice. And some of the minute counselors, people that have stepped into that circle of influence and is providing advice, they just have the wrong advice. It's the type of advice that you will hear it and you know what? Do the opposite because those people are not ready to provide advice. However, many of them are ready to give you the advice. They will start by saying, well, in my opinion, and that's the problem. That's one of the problems. So, this page, I am dedicating it to people that want to be or are called to be at one time or another that minute counselor. You may be the person that someone is going to approach, a child, a young person, a mother, a father, someone, a friend, someone from your community, someone that believes that you can provide some advice to their situation, and they will approach you. And I want to somehow, through this page, provide you with different tools and ways for you to be ready, intentionally ready to help people whenever you can help them. If you cannot help them, don't try it because you will create a disaster and you don't want to do that. And I also want to help those people that are seeking the advice so that I could give you some wisdom about seeking and following advice. Who do you seek advice from? And in also how to follow. Okay, understand some principles. Understand that there are some things that people will tell you that basically are just not right. Like, for example, the woman that just discovered that her husband is not everything that she thought he was, and somehow he has done something that she wasn't expecting. He cheated on her or something of that nature, and she's so hurt, and she's going to look for advice. Maybe she would be a real good candidate for a more professional counselor, something that she will have to pay for and be ready to deal with that. Maybe some pastoral counseling or something of that nature. But regretfully, most of these people go looking for advice on from people that are the least prepared or equipped to give advice. And some of the advice that they receive goes something like this: "Oh, just kick him to the curb, get him out of your life. You don't need a man in your life," and things of that nature. And well, she may follow that advice only to discover that the person that told her kick him to the curb is now living with him. And you know, it creates a lot of situations, a lot of problems out there. You know, other people will give you advice and you take it and it's the wrong advice. Everything goes bad and they'll tell you something like, well, you didn't have to listen to me. Nobody listens to me. Why are you listening to me? You know, I didn't put a gun over your head. Why are you saying things? You know, and that is the type of, you know, of situations that people find themselves in when it comes to the minute counselor. So I want to help the people that are seeking the minute counseling, and I want to help the people that are going to provide the minute counseling. And we are going to use many topics. You know, I'm going to be talking about the topic of common sense. I hope that you listen to that one. That is a very good topic. And then I will talk about the topic of not one size does not fit all. Okay, very important that you learn that principle. There are other things that we want to consider here, such as the reason why people, one of the reasons that people come looking for the minute counselor is because in the puzzle of their lives, because life is a puzzle for them, there is a piece missing. Something is missing. And what they want to do when they come to you as the minute counselor is for you to help them find that piece. And so that they could finally finish that puzzle and see the whole picture and see the whole image in the life. So this is why it's so important. Now, people like my father, for example, he lived 84 years old. He never went to a professional counselor, never, ever in his life. Anything that he needed to know, he asked. And there was always somebody there that provided the right answers and the right advice. So I am so glad that you are here and that you will learn. I will make it my business to go back into the treasures of my experience in life, the many counselings moments that I have, minute counseling, moments in which people just simply approach me and ask me a question. I am going to share in some of the stories that I'm going to be sharing here are going to be very interesting because there is one particular that I'm going to speak about, my friend John. And I hope that you could go and listen to that story because it is a story of a man that, in the worst moment of his life, the very worst moment of his life, he came to me to ask me a minute advice. That moment, that moment in which he says, "Do you have a minute?" And I had that minute for him. And the information and the guidance that I provided to him in that session made him a millionaire. Now, that is very interesting, is very important because the advice that you have and that you can give somebody else is so valuable. You don't know whether you should put a price on it. I don't. I don't look for a price. My whole entire life, I have provided the advice according to what I have to give, and I have never looked to get paid for it or ask somebody to pay me in any which way or any form or fashion. But I have instead be happy. I have become happy and satisfied, receive the satisfaction that I actually was able to help somebody. And so I hope that you could be that person too. I hope that you could become that giver. I hope that you could, if you're in the position to do this, if you happen to be that encyclopedia of knowledge, that that walking encyclopedia of knowledge that people need out there. If you happen to be the person that can take that very abstract information, complicated information, and turn it into more easier terms so that the person seeking help from you will understand, then be that, do it with grace, do it with passion, help people out. People need help. There are so many people out there that need help, and the right word at the right time can make a difference between life and death. Thank you.